Yo, this woman is a matchmaker, and even she's like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, so there are a decent number of profiles like this. Okay, 31, female, based in the US, event coordinator, average looking in my opinion, and wearing heavy makeup with false lashes in all of her photos, including the casual ones. Here are some excerpts of her profile. I would like someone who is physically my type, attractive, fit, full head of hair, 5'11 or above, at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. Looks matter to me. He must be educated and have a stable job well into 6 figures. Someone who is emotionally intelligent and a high value man who understands the worth of a woman in a relationship. I won't tolerate anyone who does not know how to treat someone like a lady. I have high standards and I'm not interested in anyone who is trying to lower my standards. Now, this person is rejected because I don't think that the person that she wants will want her back. I mean, I've already seen profiles like this and she doesn't meet their requirements. But what's very interesting to me is this discourse about trying to lower my standards. I've actually seen that sentiment a bunch of times in my comment section, and I don't actually know what that means. I think it's a very weird thing to say. Like, what do you mean other people are trying to lower your standards? Nobody cares what your standards are, and nobody cares even more to try and lower them. This is a free market, so you can have all of the standards that you want, but people also have to choose you. Now, as a matchmaker, I can factually tell you that based on what you're looking for, those people who do meet your requirements, whether or not they would want you back or not. So at some point, especially for someone in my position, it's simply about reality. And what I would say to this person is hold on to your standards, hold on to them tight, and find yourself someone.
This woman is a dating coach, and she even rejects people based on standards like this. She goes to the profile, looks at the face, and then looks at the request, and this woman's standards are through the roof. You know what I'm saying? High value, obviously 5'11 over 6 feet into 6 figures. Yeah, she got a ton of makeup on, fake lashes, and then she sounds insufferable. I won't tolerate someone that won't know how to treat someone like a lady. And even the matchmaker's like, yeah, I'm gonna reject this person because the person they want, I don't think is gonna want them back. And that's just more work for me. These women be forgetting you can have all the standards in the world. She even told you, that's fine, hold on to those standards, but be realistic with you being okay with not being chose because no one's gonna meet those standards. You want standards that you don't even uphold to. And the fact that she gets rejected from a matchmaker who she has to pay is telling. These women be thinking any guy's just gonna want them, and yeah, any guy will want to smash you. You be forgetting the guy that you want, once someone meets all the criteria, he gotta like you back, and that's where you're not gonna get chosen, because the guy that you want, that dude that meets all that criteria, has his pick of the litter from a lot of women that are way better to deal with than your insufferable ass. So if you're hearing it from a professional matchmaker, there might not be hope for you, shorty.
Feminism as a dismantling of patriarchy is not possible because you're appealing to the very thing you're trying to dismantle, always to dismantle it.
But it's also interesting because when I think about political movements throughout history in this country that have been super effective, they've done so through social organization, protests, political pressure, cultural influence, things that have nothing to do with force. Because like those are appealing to the government, the people in power.
And what does the government use?
The government has access to force, but these movements have still been successful.
Because men have allowed them to be. But in places where men don't allow them to be, they're not. Can I give you the entirety of the Middle East and Asia? What happens to your little political movements there?
Well, I'm talking about
what
happening in this country.
What happens to your little political movements in Afghanistan? Right. To your little political movements with the holding of the little sign saying, I don't want to wear this really hot burqa in the 100-degree sun, and they come out and cut their head off? How do they do over there? They don't do so good. How come? It's because men allow you to keep those signs up. Men allow you to protest. Men are the ones who give the allowance for you to do anything on planet Earth. And my proof is half of planet Earth where men said, no, f that. And you know what women can do about it? Nothing. They can't do anything about it.
Women want to carry themselves this way and still expect the 40-year relationship that their grandparents had. Women treat men like this and still expect that old school love they desire. The reason why most of our grandparents stayed together for decades is because roles existed. Men led, men provided direction and stability, and women nurtured the home and brought peace. They trusted the man's leadership of the home. There was polarity. Just like a magnet, there is negative and positive, while in this case there is feminine and masculine. Nowadays, too many women women do not know their roles, and then they wonder why they feel exhausted, stressed, and unsatisfied. You feel like the man in the relationship because you keep trying to lead, and two captains cannot steer one ship. Long-term attraction comes from polarity, where the feminine inspires the masculine and the masculine protects the feminine. It's having trust, it's being receptive, it's allowing men to lead without punishing him for it. If you want to keep a masculine man, you have to let him be one, and be the lady that you know you can be. Be nurturing, be receptive. Stop trying to compete with your partner, because when both people stay in their roles, as we can see, love lasts.
So Vogue put out an article that says that women are now, quote, embarrassed to have boyfriends.
Yeah.
According to the Fashion Bible, having a man in your life is seen as cringe and culturally loser-ish. They're writing it on the point of view that women are so independent now and they make their own money and they're such girl bosses. Their argument is all men add to our life is just chaos and confusion and heartache. I don't need a man because I have already everything for myself. That was the argument they're making. It's making men look completely useless, which in my opinion is completely wrong. It's very feminist forward, yeah. She claimed that being with a man is now almost a guilty thing to do. It's awful because, yeah, are there men out there? 100%. Are there women out there? 100%. The way that they're making men sound in this article is that they're completely incompetent and they add no value to a female's life. And that's what kind of ticked me off. Yes, there's bad men, but there's a ton of great men.
I think this generation of dating men, women is so different than how it was before.
I would not be happy as just somebody's wife and having their kids. Like, there's just so much inside of me. And I decided I'm going to pursue this career that has no guarantee.
Based in the African American community, where our marriage rates are like 30%, they said by 2030 it's going to go down to the teens.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that knowing that, how do we reverse engineer it? What you said is so true. A lot of African American women are out earning the male counterparts, and they feel like I can do bad all by myself, or I don't need you at all. So now women are saying, I don't just need a man that's a provider, because at first men were the providers. Now they're saying, I want something that men are less likely to give, which is emotional intelligence. Yeah.
When I was young, I was sold the Cinderella story. Like, oh, you meet somebody, Prince Charming. So I did what we recommend girls do. I went to college. I went to Hampton University, got into a relationship. After college, we got engaged. And I remember, it's so funny, my mother, everybody was happy. My daddy said to me, he was like, you are not ready to be anybody's wife. My dad knew. He said, you are so ambitious that you're going to have to give up everything of who you really are to be this man's wife.
Her father, who probably outside of her mother, knows her best. A father will know beyond the Disney fairy tale that creeped into her head about what marriage is or what it's about. A father would know if she has the behavior, the characteristics, the integrity, the morality to be that person, a wife in reality. Again, not in Disney.
He's going to work every day. I have no financial issues. Like, he has a reliable career, probably still has that job with that company at a higher level now. I moved in with him, so it was no extra bills. All I had to do was just get married and pop out some babies. And I said, this is not my life. This is not what God birthed me to become. Bet on me. And for a long time, I remember I used to think like, I chose my career over love. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't choose my career over love. I chose who I am. So I'm going to say, this is like 20 years ago. And it's like, okay, 20 years later, you're still not married. You're still not a wife. Would you make that same bet? Would you make the same decision?
Co-incoming.
Absolutely, I would. I would have made it a day earlier.
Is that a component of the falling marriage rate is because women are choosing themselves as opposed to choosing family. But the issue is, while choosing themselves, while they'll go on a path to increase the amount of money within their bank accounts, they're also losing some of the fundamental factors that men of substance, of value, find attractive. The feminists and their programs funded by the government have won because they've taken the psyche of young ladies like this, fed them lies in order to increase GDP, gross product. Is this truly your nature, Kendra G, or were you nurtured into this?
I don't want to say this but I am. There's not really any men these days. You know what, masculine men. When I'm talking about masculine, I don't mean bulk dudes, like dumb right now. I'm talking about masculine men. Where are those guys? someone like my brother and my dad, they're
What makes a masculine?
Yeah, what do you want in a masculine man?
Like change a tire type?
It has nothing to do with looks. It's just a guy who can just like support you and like no jealousy, just like, you know, it's not easy dating me, you know, because, you know, like I said, I'm kind of like an alpha, you know, so I got to meet someone who's more alpha than me.
So you want more alpha? You don't want a beta?
No,
because a lot of the
absolutely
alpha homegirls that I have a little bit more of a beta boyfriend situation.
Because I have dated someone that was very, very a yes man, and it was very sweet, but then it gets boring.
They just don't know what they want. She couldn't even answer the question. He says, what is a masculine? What do you consider a masculine man to be? And she couldn't even tell you. Somebody who supports you and is not jealous is a masculine man? That's your answer? Somebody's more alpha than you?
You know, modern women do a lot of, and, you know, the matchmaker was talking about it. They do a lot of, essentially what they mean is, well, I'm not going to allow somebody to tell me what I can and can't have. Like I said in a lot of my other commentary, I've worked hard for this. And when they say I worked hard for this, what they mean is I've gone to therapy. So I've completed that like you told me to. If you look at it from that way, it's essentially their version of Red Pill or the Manosphere. Well, you told me to go to therapy. I've gone to therapy. You told me to love myself. I love myself. To do self-care days. I've done all of that. I've sat with myself. I've taken boot camps on being feminine. I've gone up a level to divine feminine, advanced divine feminine, black cat energy, divine feminine, godlike, Zeus-like, Disney mermaid princess, like femininity. And, you know, I also have the degree. I have a master's degree. I have a PhD. Plus I have a great job making about 100K. I'm a boss babe, I would say. On the side, I do my own business, I run my own business. So I deserve this type of man with all of the stuff that I do. All of those things are great. But a lot of times when you get down to it, your attitude, which is what we've seen in that specific instance with the matchmaker, is terrible. And you can see it through the text messages. So you can do all of that other stuff. Talk about how great you are. But usually it comes down to your character, your behavior, and your bad attitude.
These moments of insecurity when I'm dating because I have 5 kids, you know?
I think someone's dating preference should be based on their actual production, not what they feel like they deserve. Few discretion is advised.
And then when I start dating and getting on the app, I realize that my children actually aren't the problem. And that I shouldn't be insecure because I have children. Because honestly, I deserve so much better than what these dating apps have to offer. And I deserve so much better than the men that I'm surrounded by that I refuse.
Man, let me be the first to tell you, you are well within your right to refuse to date anybody. You don't have to have a partner. You could stay alone with your 5 kids. That is very true. My separation with what this woman is saying is that she said that she deserves it. How do you know you deserve it? What have you accomplished in your life to make you say, I deserve this? Because if that's the case, then everybody deserves who they think they should have. So those men that you deem to be not worth your time, what if they felt as if they deserved you? I'm sure you would say, well, don't give a what you think or what you feel. I don't want you back. And for the record, ma'am, those insecurities exist because you know just as well as we do that 5 kids is a lot to deal with.
And like some men will be like, oh, like you should feel thankful that a guy looks in your direction because you have 5 kids. Your mom raised you wrong, and I would rather be alone with a goldfish than to settle for a man like you.
Ma'am, you are in fact lying. You are not willing to just settle with a goldfish and your 5 kids, because if you were, you would have done it already. The men that you deem to be valuable are not checking for you in any way, shape, or form, because if they were, you would not be making this video. Now, although I don't agree that you're lucky that a man even looked at you because you have 5 kids, I think everybody deserves some kind of love as long as you're a decent person that is prepared to be in a healthy, functioning relationship. The part where it typically gets shaky for us is when you start to say what you deserve instead of what you actually produce. And trying to ignore the fact that 5 kids is a lot to deal with. Let's be realistic here. When you were single with no kids, I'm sure you were not giving any man with 5 children a shot. I wonder why that is. You probably didn't even allow those type of men to breathe the same air as you, but now all of a sudden the rules are supposed to change because you got 5 kids now? It's not how this works.
Baby, no. I don't care. 5 kids and all. I don't care. I'm not settling. I refuse. I deserve a man in finance, 6'5", trust fund, blue eyes as well. You know what I mean?
You deserve a man in finance, 6'5" trust fund with blue eyes. Sweetheart, where the did you find these standards? How do you acquire this after not being able to obtain that in the first place? The delusion on some of y'all just is so far out of reach. What? And to think that she says she deserves that. There'd be one question, man, one question only. Why didn't you just go get that man before you had your 5 kids? When did you realize that's what you deserved? How does one increase their dating standards after their dating market value decreases? Who is doing the math here? But you know what? In some of y'all, delusion logic would never exist. And I'm sure you're never going to listen to anything that I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
Yo! Women use simps against attractive men. When women can't get or control a man who's attractive, they use simps to feel better and try to make other men jealous. Simps aren't men who are good to or respect women. They are men who will sacrifice anything, their self-respect, for an attractive woman. Attractive men refuse to simp. That is actually a huge part of why they are attractive, because they have self-respect. This can confuse a lot of women who aren't used to men who have self-respect. It often stems from their own insecurity and feeling small because of the attractive man. He has levels of security that she is not capable of. So when she can't get or control him, she uses simps against him. She'll suck them dry of validation, attention, effort, resources to feel better, worthy, like she matters, and to flex on other people. Many times to make men they do find attractive jealous. She competes with presence on the backs of simps, using them as leverage to feel powerful, when it's really insecurity. Insecurity seeks to control. It comes from ego, wanting to feel secure through validation. Except attractive men see through this nonsense, that it's just a false portrayal of value, that it's hidden insecurity, and to let it be. Even if he feels a little jealous, he will never sacrifice his self-respect, no matter how pretty she is. Watch my YouTube for more. One-on-one calls in the bio. Drizzle, drizzle.
Bradley is wrong about why women leave. His whole theory is that men got soft, beta husbands, lazy providers, and if guys would just man up, their wives would stay. His prescription is testosterone. His cure is 1955. Here's where he's missing it. Women file nearly 70% of divorces in this country, and most of the men that I've sat across from were working long hours, coming home to the kids, handling the things she never sees, and still they weren't doing enough. She isn't filing because she's doing 2 jobs. She's filing because she's been told she's doing 2 jobs. From inside the room, the women who file aren't the most tired. They're the most connected. She isn't divorcing you. She's divorcing the marriage she watches on her phone all day. The divorced friend posting beach photos captioned, "The soft life saved me." The TikTok therapist diagnosing her marriage in 60 seconds. The single mom influencer with the spotless kitchen, the calm kids, and a morning routine that never includes a husband. The IG coach selling boundaries courses where her husband is always the boundary. The post-divorce glow-up reel, new haircut, new body, new caption. I finally chose me. Every one of these is selling her the same story. The woman on the other side of the divorce is calmer, freer, hotter, and finally herself. Brad's fix is to go backwards, but you can't. You can't unspoil the algorithm. You can't put 2007 back in the box. She isn't filing because she's exhausted. She's filing because she's been told the next chapter is better. She's been told that by everyone in her phone.
One of the dumbest lies that these women who preach about toxic masculinity say is when they say things like, oh, it's okay for men to be emotional. I want my man to be emotional. I want him to vent to me. Be so for real. You do not want an emotional man. You actually find them repulsive. So sorry to all the men that had to endure that time period where being masculine was the absolute worst character trait you could have. We're kind of still going through that, but I feel like we're kind of coming out of it. But do not listen to these women. They do not want you to be emotional. They are lying to themselves. I am a woman that's not mentally ill. I talk to a lot of other non-mentally ill women on a daily basis, and we all agree that venting is very unattractive. Being hyper emotional as a man is very unattractive. And the thing is, these women that preach about toxic masculinity are actually attracted to stoicism. They are actually attracted to masculinity, but they have to lie to themselves to fit within the sisterhood. So then they go find an emotional man and they end up hating the relationship. They are completely exhausted by the emotions. And they get so upset when you put men and women into boxes, and truthfully, I think that that's fake outrage. But the thing is, I'm emotional as a woman. Most women are emotional. If my husband was also super emotional, this would never work. It would be exhausting. So how about we just celebrate the differences? How about we just celebrate the masculinity and the stoicism and say, oh, you know what? I need some of that in my life.
Just got finished watching a video of a guy telling other men not to become stepdads and to let women raise their children on their own because there was no benefit. Now, because I listened to comprehend instead of listening to respond, I watched the whole video and all the reasons he named were valid. He was in a marriage to a woman with a young son who he pretty much raised for years. And when they decided to split, she cut off all contact, communication, everything because she said it was her son. There is no benefit into raising somebody else's child and pouring into them for years for you to really have no control over the child. I'm going to go as far as saying it's really no benefit into being a step parent in general because you take care of somebody else's responsibility. And most of the time you don't even get back the bare minimum of respect, you know, from the parent or the child. So yeah, I'm going to go that far. I know it's going to be an unpopular opinion. And he said a lot of women would disagree because of course they want men to keep continuing to take care of other men's responsibilities. But I'm, like I said, in general, I'm going to go being a step parent in general for men or women. There is no benefit.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women, especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill, they just postponed it, and the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate, it isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem, abandoning it was.
You know, I go back to that clip where the father was saying there's no benefit to being a step, or the guy was saying there's no benefit to being a stepfather because, you know, you build a bond with the kid and they just cut off all contact and they say, well, it's my child. So, you know, you don't need to have any contact with the kid. Which, you know, part of it is I put a lot of money into this kid. So there goes my investment monetarily, I guess. But then I know for a lot of men, it's I built a bond with this child. And so there goes my investment emotionally. I taught this kid a lot. I took this kid with me a lot of places, right? When mom was at work or mom was tired, I treated this kid like the kid came from me. Like it was mine. Dad was acting crazy, or dad wasn't around, or dad might have even been in his life. It don't matter. In all situations, I've been here. And it's more than it. Well, it doesn't really feel good to have all of this taken away from you, you know, and it kind of sucks. What a bummer. It's more than that, right? Because you get attached to the child or the children and you say, okay, which is what a lot of men do. They say, okay, I'm going to go full into this. I'm going to show her I can be a good parent. But modern women are so unstable that one day they can get mad and just up and leave. And then they just, well, you can't have contact with my child either. What happens a lot of times with these modern women is they had a little attitude And then when they get done with their little attitude, they try to run back to you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Really what that meant is, I had a bad attitude and then I thought I could maybe not do better than you, but I thought I could get a man. And it didn't work. So here I am again. On my own. Going down the road. Sorry.
She proves who to know she's harmless, then green flag. But if she says like, oh, my mom is so strong, my mom's a strong black woman, I don't need a man because my mother didn't need a man.
What if you don't? What if you don't need a woman? You're a man, Nani.
Girl, you'll need men. You'll need men so bad that you'll get angry when you find out that these men are not choosing you for these things. You'll want men so bad. You'll need men. Otherwise, live without them.
Yeah.
And you know what's the craziest thing? Is that if the economy had to crash and then all of a sudden Imali doesn't matter anymore, and then guess who would have to run this world?
Men.
Exactly.
Why?
Because they're the ones building these buildings, fixing these roads. They're the ones, most of them are the leaders. We're just illogical, we're like emotional, we're just these.
Also, that's the importance of men in society.
Exactly.
Every time you'd say this phrase, I wouldn't understand.
Men are the structure and the pillars of society. Women are the cushions of society. If money didn't matter, abantu besifazane bangena engadini and then plant vegetables and take care of the kids and teach them and collect water and make the house clean. Men would build houses, build the roads, protect. But now, because there's this money, we're acting like we don't need them. We want men to be softer. We make men feel guilty for being horny. You need to feel guilty because I turned you on. Fuck, my cleavage is out. What are you supposed to do? Look at my cleavage and pray? Of course you're gonna get horny. Yeah, of course you're gonna get horny. But society wants to make men feel so bad. Oh my gosh, you're such a pervert. If you don't want him to look at your cleavage, cover it up then.
No, Nani, I feel like you are enabling men being perverts.
No, if I was gonna say that.
But why can't I go out with my cleavage and be...
I'm a married man that understands the risk of men trying to get married. I'm going to say marriage isn't for everybody. I'm the type that's going to advocate for the women and say, I actually think you need to be at a certain dollar amount in dealing with today's women. As an example, the woman under 40 that you see today is not the 40-year-old version of your mother or your grandma. Between social media, between OnlyFans, between the liberation movement, etc., these women have been conditioned to be addicted to dopamine spikes. What it's done is the version of what women in the West are now. Their hypergamous nature is to a level no other women that's ever existed collectively have ever done. They're demanding things that no women that in mass have ever demanded from a collective of men. They're asking for more than ever before. They cannot be content. They're taking this mindset into a marriage, to a relationship, in the dating market. They're not getting the desired outcome, and they've been convinced that the problem is just and primarily the men.
This one is for you ladies, and I say this with respect, but some of y'all need a reality check. Women love to claim they're emotionally mature, but when it comes to actually embodying emotional maturity, silence. Yes, emotional immaturity exists in men too, but the reason this is directed to you is because women are the ones constantly bragging about being emotionally mature. Men are not out here flexing emotional intelligence or posting about how healed they are. But some of y'all, if you're really going to claim emotional maturity, the bare minimum is to actually embody it. And let me say this very clearly. If your immediate reaction to any video that isn't bashing men, or even simply acknowledging that good men exist, is to get defensive, bitter, or start hating on men, that's not emotional maturity. That's your trauma talking. It's not a flex to hate men. It doesn't make you empowered. It makes you reactive. Tell me, how's this emotional maturity? If you're out here bashing an entire gender, saying men are trash, but simultaneously demanding a healed, emotionally present partner, that's emotional projection. And listen, I'm not invalidating what you went through. Maybe you were hurt. Maybe you were betrayed. Your pain is real. But carrying bitterness and dumping it on every man you meet, that's your baggage to unpack. You don't get to preach emotional maturity and carry resentment in the same breath. You don't get to call bitterness high standards. That's double standards. And maybe, just maybe, you don't truly understand what emotional maturity looks like. Emotional maturity is knowing how your words and actions impact others. It's responding, not reacting. It's not operating from ego, trauma, or fear. And some of you think reading 5 self-help books, saving TikToks means you've done the work. No, it doesn't work like that. You want healthy relationship? Then work on the parts of you that sabotage connection. Stop demanding what you refuse to become. If you truly want an emotionally healthy partner, fix in yourself what you keep complaining about in others.
If you were to take 10 men and 10 women and abandon them on a desert island, there'd be no talk of feminism. There'd be no talk of girl boss. There would be women collecting berries and making little beds, and there'd be men hunting and building shelters. And if they didn't do that, they would. The men would go instantly masculine, the females would go instantly feminine, and that's the only way the tribe would survive.
The only reason why women are doing the that they're doing is because they know that somebody's out there to save them. I don't care, even if it's the government. There is somebody out there that is going to save them. There are other men out there that, even though they talk about I don't need men and whatever, they still run to men for help, because when they go to court, most of the time it's going to be a male judge siding with them and giving them what they want.
Every time I post a video about,
I'm not gonna lie, ladies, a lot of y'all takes are getting worse as time goes on. Viewer discretion is advised.
how a man should be taking care of his woman, spoiling her, whatever, there's always men in the comments, and it honestly makes me laugh. They say, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
First and foremost, you had to force yourself to laugh, and we can tell. Because you know deep down, someone saying that it goes both ways is not funny at all. There's literally no humor in that. But on to more pressing matters. What is the issue with the man saying that his woman must reciprocate the energy that he's putting into said relationship? How on God's green earth can you find an issue in a statement as simple as that?
I think that is, hilarious. That's honestly the problem. Men like that, you have to stay away from. You need to do your part. Make your woman feel good, treat her good, spoil her. And in return, you get 10 times more when you do that. You get 10 times more.
I hate doing videos like this because they speak so vaguely and they just expect people to understand the message. What is the 10 times more? And if they do get 10 times more, why should women stay away from men that want them to reciprocate the energy that they are putting into the relationship? That's a win-win situation if you know you're going to redistribute 10 times more of what he's already doing. I'm 1,000,000% sure if men were getting 10 times more of what they were already putting in, there'd be a plethora of men trying to scratch and claw to be in a relationship with women.
But the problem is that men don't even want to try anymore. They don't even want to bother. They're stingy. They're gross. They're selfish. And yeah.
This was definitely a waste of my efforts. She didn't say anything the whole video. Not 1 ounce of actual advice or knowledge or information of any sort that could benefit anybody. Just literally out here wasting everybody's time. Men and women. This has got to stop. It must come to an end at some point. We can't continue to let people missing chromosomes to get online and give us ill-advised advice. This is not okay. This is not okay. Bro, they're making this more difficult for us. And the saddest part about all of it is I know they are not going to listen to me because I am just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
What value is he bringing at any capacity if he's not helping solve issues? Why are you here if you can't help?
He may not be able to solve your problem right now, but he might in 6 months or a year. And the problem with women is they want the man that can solve all the problems right now, and they're not even that man's responsibility. What does a man look like solving your problems when he's dating you and 3 other people trying to figure out who his woman is about to be? That's why men don't want to commit today, because men think that women expect them to do everything for them when there's no level of, I don't even know you yet. You want me to pay your bills, solve your problems, show up for you, feed your kids. You got this long laundry list of things that you expect a man to be, but what do you have to offer him other than you aren't nurturing, you aren't kind, you aren't trying to expand his vision, you aren't trying to fit inside of his vision, you can't check your tone, you aren't submissive to him. So all of these things that you're asking for, you're not qualified for. But you could ask, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land on the stars, right? Girl. But also, I think that it's really important that we as women understand that a man's job is not to solve our problems. That's not his job. I even think that men have now started to believe that their only job is to make sure everyone around them is happy. And that is to a detriment of the man and a detriment to society. Because if more men were looking to the fact that I need to have leadership, for me to have clear vision, for me to take action, for me to be kind and compassionate, and yes, get to the bag too, and yes, be in my masculine energy, that's what creates a healthy home. It's not just monetary value.
And I like what she was saying. A lot of, she was saying, one example was women have their chest out, and you're expecting a man not to be aroused by it. And it takes me back to, there was a clip from tonight's conversation. The woman was like, why can't I find any men that respect me for who I am, and they, listen to what I say. And the woman, her dress was short. I mean, it was, if it had been any shorter, you could see her underwear. And then she was big chested. So obviously, stuff that you wear is going to be noticeable. But then she had the dress was think of it as like a spaghetti, like just a spaghetti strap dress. I don't know what they would have called those things, but like really thin straps, and then like a really deep U line. Like I said, if the dress would have been any shorter, you could see her underwear. And if the chest area would have been any shorter, you might have been able to see, her whole chest area, right? But she asking those questions, and you're like, and one of the guys is like, how do you expect me to focus on anything else when I'm looking at what you have and you're displaying? I'm not going to be thinking any intellectual thoughts when you're looking like this, right? I'm going to be focused on what you have in front of me. And so modern women don't really understand, or they don't care to understand, there's a certain way that you can present yourself in these relationships that does not help you. It actually hurts you a lot. And then when people try to tell you that, you get mad, you get offended. I should be able to do whatever I want to do. Right. True enough. But what you're doing, some of those things have consequences.
Men laugh at other men who take women that they've been with serious. It's like, but you got what?
Had that.
Been there, done that. Other women may try to say that same type of time. Oh, babe, I've had that. No, babe, you ain't had them like this though. It's in a man's nature to desire a woman or to desire women. It's in your innate nature to be like, dang, she look good. Why your woman is there? That's in a man's nature to just be like, yo, she is a good looking woman. That's not to say that you want to pursue her. Now, a woman may say the same thing and says, that dude looks good. Cool. The thing that makes any woman valuable is her being a virtuous woman. If Peter, Paul, and Patrick can say that they done been with your woman, that value has went down.
Right.
This is what we call a double standard.
It is.
Because if Patricia, Pam, and Pauletta been with your dude, your man has more value. Why? They look at you as to say, you got something that they wanted.
Right.
A purse.
Right.
A car. An outfit.
Right.
Bullshit. A house. No. This is really what's going to the life. When Pam, Pauletta, Patricia see that you got a man that they was with, but you got the good version. Now I'm gonna give you a same example. With Paul, Peter, John, and Jabbar. If they see me with the girl that all of them hit, I'm the laughing stock.
Of course.
That's the point that I was just trying to make. Like, 3 girls, 3 men, same situation. That's the double standard. Am I saying that this is okay? No, I'm just giving you an example of.
How do we change this though?
It will never, see, that's the thing. When you start hearing online, it will never change. Double standards are here to stay from BC
till end of time.
to afterlife.
after time.
Double standards are here. They're not going anywhere. There's certain things that women can do that men could never. There's things that men could do that women could never. It's just here.
So you want to know why a lot of black women are single and why only 27% of black women, I did my research last night, it's now 27%, as to why only 27% of black women are getting married nowadays? Because they're too busy giving the black man what they think and feel he deserves instead of giving the black man what he wants. Black men have been saying since the beginning of the time, loudly, I don't want a woman who wears a whole bunch of weave. Modern black men are now saying, I'm tired of y'all wearing the fake eyelashes. I'm tired of all the makeup. I'm tired of the bust-down lace front wigs with the swoops in the front that look crazy. I'm tired of y'all not going to the gym. I'm tired of y'all making excuses for not going to the gym, being overweight. I'm tired of y'all being argumentative. I'm tired of y'all not cooperating. They have literally been screaming at the top of their lungs. And black women are still doing whatever they want to do, saying, "Oh, even though you said you wanted all these things, nah, I'm not going to give you all those things. I'm going to give you what I feel as though you deserve." So this package here, that's not cooperative, that's overweight, that talks back, that has the weave and bust down lace front wigs, I'm going to give you this instead, and you just need to accept it. Black men are tired, y'all. I'm going to need y'all to get together.
The way that men treat women who are in their 40s as if somehow they're supposed to be like discarded by society is absolutely laughable. And I don't say all men.
What I find interesting about this, the same way a lot of y'all ladies in your 40s feel about men your age not prioritizing you when it comes to dating, is exactly how it was for those same men when they were in their early to mid 20s. When they were trying to date girls their age, y'all neglected them because they were too young, they were too immature, they didn't have enough experience, and they definitely didn't have enough money to date y'all. So what happened was when girls were in their early to mid 20s, y'all were dating men in their 30s and their 40s. So those same men that y'all overlooked, they are now in their 40s and they worked on themselves. They're more mature, they have more experience, and they have more money. So they have more to offer. So now these men have options and they're deciding not to date you. Just like how when y'all were in y'all early 20s and you had options, you decided not to date men in your age range. I'm not saying whether it's right or it's wrong. I'm just showing y'all that the shit's coming full circle.
A lot of us were raised by women who hate men. Women who had so much unresolved pain, bitterness, and trauma that they passed that hatred down. Nobody want to talk about it because it disrupts the narrative that women can do no wrong. But be honest, how many of y'all grew up hearing, don't depend on no man, all men are dogs, don't let no man play with you, men only want one thing? But not once did they tell you how to choose a good man. Not once did they tell you how to communicate with a man. Not once did they tell you that not all men are your enemy. The wild part about it is most of those women wasn't healing. They was projecting. They was recruiting you into their war against men that they started, that they lost, and that they never recovered from. Now whole generations of women is out here fighting battles that they never experienced. Blaming men they never even met. Getting into relationships already angry at somebody who isn't even in the room.
Whoa, that's assault right there, okay. The thing is that I hit too close to home for her because she knows what I was saying was spot on and she got a little, I can't take it. I guess I was wrong though. She's masculine but very emotional as well. What's your name?
Gail.
Gail. What's your name? That's a lie. I feel like you're lying to me.
No.
You have to think about it. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I was debating giving you my fake name.
Yeah, I know. Why? Why do girls do that? Like, why do you guys like...
You might be a stalker.
I might be a stalker? You think you're important enough for me to stalk?
I don't know. I think I am. It's a blessing to be in my presence.
Do you think women... Okay, wow. This is a good segue because you just predicted my question, my next question. Do you think women have a little bit too high of egos?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You guys don't think so?
Are you like a little... asking me this or what?
No, you don't think that you're like just somebody who thinks you're a little higher than you actually are?
No, I think I'm exactly what I am.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you think you're a 10.
I think you're a bitch.
But you're like a 7.
I think you're
a 10. You think you're a 10, but you're a 7.
I think you're.
And the attitude went from 7 to 4.
I don't think we should be mean to women.
7 to 4?
Yeah.
I think you're a short king and you're insecure.
You think I'm insecure?
Yeah.
I think you're projecting right now because you're mad.
I'm taller than you. I'm literally taller than you.
You're wearing boots, but I don't think being taller is a flex as a woman. Let's be honest.
All right, height to height. It's a blessing to be in my presence.
Let's see, back to back. This is why we need to move to Europe, bro, because these women got some.
It's okay.
You got a pretty aggressive friend here. She's a little masculine.
I think masculine.
Yeah, I bet.
No, I'm. Whatever. You think you're actually embarrassing, and you're also you look like
that's fine. Yeah, I got that a lot actually on Omega, but just want to give you some advice. I know you're not gonna take it because your ego's high. Men don't really like masculine women.
Oh, men don't really like masculine women.
Yeah.
I can. Okay. Bro,
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
Ladies, is it just me, or can we not find men to approach us anymore? It's like, where are all the manly men? I mean, seriously, if this was back in the day, men would be all over me. Like, no man ever comes up to you anymore, asks your name, asks to take you on a date, and actually follows up on it. Like, dating today is so cooked. It's like I don't know what to do anymore.
Excuse me, man, my phone died. Do you have the time by chance?
Nah.
E essa moda nas academias agora? Homens que se vestem estilo mulher, né, com roupa estilo feminina. Esse assunto tá dando muito o que falar. Tem gente que se acha desconfortável, se sente desrespeitado, tem gente que se sente incomodado, acha que isso não deveria acontecer. E você ficaria à vontade treinando com gente que se veste dessa forma? Ou você acha que as academias deveriam ter um código de vestimenta a ser seguido? Conta aqui nos comentários.
A man's heartbreak, you can't even fathom the heartbreak of a man when he loves a woman and she breaks his heart. Because we can't turn our love on and off like a woman. Most men never recover. They don't recover. But women do. Woman, she don't love like that. Her love is different. She love like water. It evaporates over time.
And the thing about what Cam was saying is, well, we have double standards, and it's something that we have to realize in society, right? Modern women, what they get out there and they do is they want their double standards, but then they also want the male privilege, right? So I want to be able to hang out with, say for instance, a dude and cuddle with him and then be able to say he's my friend, it ain't nothing like that, he's a brother. But if a man were to say, well, you know, I'm not even cuddling with this woman, but we hanging out, we might go chill, talk somewhere, grab a cup of coffee and just shoot the breeze for a few hours. You want to know where I am. You want to know what we talked about, right? God forbid I go out there. Mind you, you've been cuddling with this dude. You have been cuddling. Well, he just a brother. It ain't nothing like that. You got your butt all on him, on his junk. I ain't nothing like that. But if I should go out there and follow a trainer, a woman that's built, you're going to get insecure. Why are you following her? There ain't no male trainers you can follow. You disgusting. Why is it okay for you to be chilling with, well, he's just a friend. Modern women always have an excuse. They always have a reason why they can do the things that they want to do. But when a man says, okay, if I were to do the same thing that you were doing or something similar, all of a sudden it's a problem. Now you got an attitude. Can you now see what I was saying when you wanted to go cuddle with old boy? No, that's different because this. Okay, so no accountability. Let me move around.